We're here to support each other. It's not about, just the village managers or just the head office staff or the residents. It's about everyone, obviously. I've heard it, Frank and I say many, many times, we never set out to be the biggest. We don't have that problem. We want to be the best.
Today what we want to do is hear from you. So it's really, really important that whenever you're going through change that you've got some anchors. And critical to that process is really what we're talking about today, which is around values and behaviours. What have we done so far? When you identify organisational values, I could write them for any organisation, as you all could. You're all from somewhere else beforehand. Way too often what happens from a values perspective is that they are defined and then they're written beautifully on a wall, on some other, collateral, but they don't come to life. They don't mean anything. So we reviewed the survey results, and there was some fantastic commentary in there as well. So thank you to those, one who completed and two who took the time to write some anecdotal examples of why you do what you do. We then had a workshop where we agreed with the initial draft and suggested values. So Mark mentioned one of them being accountability, and we also started to work at a high level around looking at what do the behaviours mean. What we want to do is get what does it mean to the Oaktree team and the Oaktree family as such.
These are the types of things that we need to get right now. We don't want to be 100 village managers down the track and working out what's that balance.
People in the room here and the people back at head office need to actually be the architects and owners of the behaviours, which includes the founders. It includes Franco and Mark, but it's not, and again with the greatest respect, this is not something that they're just going to articulate and say off you go. This is why we've invested this time for you guys to have your say. So hopefully you've found this to be a useful process. This is not the end of it. We will come out and make sure that people understand it and it gets lived in the organisation. And most importantly, as this business continues to grow and do amazingly marvellous things, that this just becomes the way we do things around here.
What do you think of the Oaktree values?
Well, I think they're very much what makes the company. I think it certainly sets the tone of the company, and it is what attracts great people to the company and what keeps people there, and what keeps the people that we're ultimately working for happy.
I really like our values. I really like that the company was involved in help generate our values, and I think it's really important for a company to have values to help shape the culture and the company's identity. So I really like our values, and I'm proud of our values that we have created.
They're excellent to see that they're there in black and white, that we're able to always go back and check ourselves, realign ourselves with it whenever we feel we need to, or feel we may be straying a little bit. It's good to see that's how we operate. That's the way we want to work.
For me, I think the most important one is authenticity.
Okay.
I think it's really important that everyone can be themselves at all times, whether that's, you know, being serious for the sake of getting the job done, but I think everyone can also be who they are. If you're humorous, then I think your personality should come through in all aspects of your working life as well as your other life.
I agree.
I would have to say for me, probably care. I think care is a real bang for buck type value, if I could say that. In particular, I think care cuts across two key areas. It's care for our people and care for our business. And I think about care for our people, it's around our residents first and foremost, and our colleagues, and of course our community. If I think about care for the business, it's really care about the business outcomes, caring about our future success and making sure that we're all part of that and we think about that every day and just going above and beyond to make sure we deliver.
Fantastic. Well, for me it was accountability, because I think it's an all-encompassing value. You look at the other values that we have and we're accountable for all of them. And when you really think about accountability, for me it's accountability to the brand in the delivery of those other core values and accountability to the residents' promise.
What was key for us was to, rather than having a mission statement, had a number of values that effectively become our guideposts. We're on a track, and we need to know what are the things that are going to help us. And for me personally, values really play out when we're in decision mode. So whether that's an issue with a resident, whether it's an issue with a new site, whether it's an issue with staff, what the values help you do is, if you use those as your common denominator, it keeps you on track in terms of your decision, so you're not sort of influenced adversely by preconceived ideas. You know, you're back to saying, is this decision consistent with the values that we've put together? So for me, it's really about a guide, those sort of guideposts.
See the team participate so actively in the process, and then to come up with the values that we have, it's quite humbling to sit back and say, you know what, that's what Mark and I, even though we didn't discuss it directly, impliedly, they're the values that we subscribe to every day. And that's the way we want this business to operate, not only presently but into the future. So the whole process has been very refreshing in that respect, and humbling to think that where we started 15 years ago, we've come the full 360. We still haven't changed.
Well, we start by saying welcome. Welcome to the journey and welcome to the ride. Putting your seatbelt on is a good start. But really, you're joining an organisation that cares very deeply about having some guideposts to help you in your journey, and they are of course our values. And we're going to spend a lot of time with you as you start with us, talking about those values and what they actually mean, and more importantly, how do they manifest themselves in our day-to-day activities, whatever role it is that you're joining us to provide. So it is a lot of fun. There are tough times. There are a whole range of emotions at Oaktree that seem to cycle on most days. But with a core set of values, the journey's much easier, because decisions can be made fast, in real time, and with full support. So welcome and enjoy the ride.
Yes, welcome. In case it takes me some time to get to say hello to you, welcome again. But as Mark says, put your seatbelt on. You're going to be working in a fantastic space, some exciting times. I guess the best thing I can say is, you're having a bad hair day, defer to your values. It'll help you get through the day, 24 hours. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We're here to help. Reach out if you need any form of assistance. Enjoy your time, and let's get on with it. Thank you.